basic geometry: volumes, distance, perimeter, diameter, radius. Linear measurements. Distance is measured in inches, feet, yards, miles, which are in English system, or centimeters, meters, and kilometers, which is in the metric system. What can you measure in the water wastewater field in linear measurements? Perimeter. A perimeter is a distance around the outer edge of a shape. For example, perimeter of a rectangle or a square is the length of 1 plus length of 2 plus length of side 3 plus length of side 4. A rectangular tank that measures 10 feet by 14 feet has a perimeter of 10 feet plus 10 feet plus 14 feet plus 14 feet, which gives us the answer 48 feet when you add up all the sides. Now then, this is your think time. There is a practice problem that starts just after this screen. Area. The area of an object is the size of the surface of that object and is usually expressed as square inches, square feet, square yards, square miles, etc. In the formula, area equals length times width. Why is the answer in square feet, you might ask? Well, that's mainly because there are mathematical notations you don't traditionally see, but need to know exist in order to understand how you get a squared answer. When you multiply numbers with exponents, you add the exponents. When you divide, you subtract the exponents. So in the example, 2 feet times 2 feet is really 2 feet to the first power times 2 feet to the first power. You add the exponents 1 plus 1 together and it gives us 4 feet squared. Or you could say 4 square feet. Let's spend a moment and review what we've learned so far. Area versus perimeter. Area is the unit of measurement that covers an object, such as in this example here. Perimeter is a measurement around an object. Remember that perimeter is expressed in feet because we're adding the sides of the rectangle or the square, and area is going to be expressed in feet squared because we're multiplying. Let's think about volume. A volume measurement defines the amount of space or volume that is contained within an object. Volume measurements are three-dimensional and are usually expressed as cubic inches, cubic feet, cubic yards, and cubic gallons. The formula for volume is length times height times depth. Mathematically, a volume would look like this. 1 foot times 1 foot times 1 foot equals 1 foot cubed. It's read as 1 cubic foot. Now then, this is your think time. There is a practice problem that starts just after this screen. Circumference is the distance around a circle. This is the perimeter of a circle. For example, the circumference of a circle is 3.14 times the diameter. It's important to note the diameter is a straight line drawn from one side of the circle through the center to the other side. As mentioned, the diameter is a straight line drawn from one side of the circle to the other. Radius is half the diameter and is measured from the center of the circle to one side of the circle. Pi is more than for eating. If you compare the diameter of a circle to the circumference of the circle, you will find the circumference is a little more than 3 times the diameter. Circumference is calculated by multiplying 3.14, or pi, times the diameter. The diameter can be calculated by dividing the circumference of a circle by pi. The key to remember here is that 3.14 equals pi. Surface area of a circle. Area of a circle is calculated by using the relationship between the diameter and pi. Although there are several ways to calculate the area of a circle, only one will be used in this video and is recommended for waterworks personnel. Area of a circle equals 0.785 times diameter squared in feet. This is a recommended waterworks formula. Why do we use 0.785? Well, if you remember, back in school, most people learned to find the area of a circle by using the formula area equals 3.14 times radius squared. But in our business, the surface area of a tank or a cross-sectional area of a pipe are really what we're going to be dealing with, and those numbers are in diameters. Since the problem terms are generally used in diameters, it's just simpler to keep the formula in diameters. Tips for your calculator. You can make the best use of your calculator here by using the x squared key. If you have this key on your calculator, go ahead and try to find it now. Practice using this key and it will save you time and ensure more accuracy. When you write down an area or volume formula, write the radius squared as r times r, or the diameter squared as d times d. This will really help you make sure that you enter either term into your calculator correctly. Otherwise, in the middle of solving a problem, it's easy to miss this step and put in just one r or one d into the calculator. If you make this a habit, it will really work well for you in the future. Volume of a cylinder. Remember this from before? A volume measurement defines the amount of space or volume that is contained within an object. Volume measurements are three-dimensional and are usually expressed as cubic inches, cubic feet, cubic yards, and cubic gallons. The formula for this industry standard is volume equals 0.785 times diameter squared times the height. The height or depth of the volume measurement gives the third dimension or measurement of an object. Volume is always represented in three-dimensional units such as, like I mentioned, cubic feet, cubic yards, cubic inches, and so forth. Calculating volumes in gallons. The easiest way to calculate a volume in gallons is if the other measurements are in feet and they're put to 7.485 or 7.5 gallons per cubic foot into the basic volumes formula. Volumes in gallons equals 0.785 times the diameter squared in feet, height in feet, times 7.48 gallons per cubic foot. Other geometric shapes. There will be other geometric shapes you will need to know in the wastewater field. One of the geometric shapes you need to know about are triangles, and the other is trapezoids. Let's look at the triangle first. Formula for the triangle is base of the triangle divided in half times its height. The triangle, really in its 3D form, is the shape of a cone. Cone is base times height divided by 3. This is just an image to help you see how a cone can fit into a right cylinder. Trapezoids. The formula is the height times base 1 plus base 2 divided in half. Divided by 2 because of the shape. It's nearly a triangle, so you would want to use a similar formula. Trapezoidal prisms. Formula is b1 plus b2 divided by 2 times its length. The thing to remember is that if you can memorize a few of the basic formulas, you can figure out the area and volume of any geometric shape. It's really about the vocabulary, not the math. There is a formula cheat sheet for you to print out as part of this lesson. Print it out and memorize the very basic formulas. Be familiar with the vocabulary words such as area, which is the size of the surface of that object, perimeter, which is the distance around the outer edge of a shape, volume defines the amount of space that is contained within an object. This is a rectangle, a square, a circle, triangle, trapezoid, rectangular prism, a cylinder, trapezoidal prism, and a cone.